All right, today we're pulling back the curtain on something pretty wild. We're looking at how one small country, Qatar, has been quietly building this massive empire of influence right here in the United States. And it's a story that involves a ton of money, the media, and some seriously calculated moves.
So you gotta ask yourself, how does a tiny Gulf monarchy project so much power in a place like Washington, D.C.? Well, let me tell you, this doesn't happen by accident. We're talking about a very deliberate, very sophisticated strategy.
And this whole story really starts to unravel thanks to one journalist. His name is Eitan Fischberger. And over the course of 2025, he starts connecting these dots that, a lot of people were missing. And what he found, well, it's pretty remarkable.
All right, so first up, let's just get a sense of the sheer scale of this thing. Because we're not just talking about a few lobbyists here and there. No, this is a sprawling network, an empire of influence that stretches from the halls of Congress all the way to American college campuses.
Okay, so where do you even start with something this big? Well, let's follow the first thread that Fischberger pulled. Back in August of 2025, his investigation led him right to the doorstep of Qatar's really powerful state-run media network, Al-Jazeera.
And this is where things get really interesting. He uncovered this direct line. See, Fischberger found out that a new Al Jazeera correspondent, a guy named Shadi Shalmaya, wasn't just some random journalist. His last job? Oh, just the head of correspondence at Al-Aqsa TV, which happens to be the official US-sanctioned propaganda arm of Hamas. Yeah.
And just so we're clear on what that means, Al-Aqsa TV isn't just another news channel, it's officially designated by the US government as part of a terrorist entity. And if that wasn't enough, Shamia's own wife had been publicly praising jihad online. So the investigation started to paint a picture. This wasn't just a questionable hire. It looked a lot like a political machine using the cover of journalism to amplify a very specific message.
Okay, so you've got the media connection. What's next? Well, as they say, you follow the money. And that's exactly what Fischberger did. His investigation in October 2025 pivoted from the media to the just mind-boggling amount of cash Qatar was pumping into the U.S.
Get ready for this number, $93 billion. That's billion with a B. That is the known economic footprint of Qatar right here in the U.S. I mean, just think about the kind of financial leverage that buys you.
So where is all that money going? Let's break it down. You've got huge chunks going into business investments and weapons purchases. $29 billion for weapons. Wow. Then another $20 billion for energy projects. But then, look at this last piece. Over $6 billion poured directly into American educational institutions, universities, colleges, you name it. The money is absolutely everywhere.
And listen, that $93 billion, that's just the broad economic stuff. When we talk about direct, targeted influence, trying to shape policy in Washington, D.C., the reporting shows they've spent nearly $250 million just on lobbying and PR firms since 2016. You can bet that kind of money buys you a lot of access.
And speaking of access, check this out. This is pretty wild. Qatar's state-run media, Al Jazeera, has 136 congressional press passes. Now, according to the reporting, that is more than a huge American institution like the New York Times. Just let that sink in. They have more official personnel inside the U.S. Capitol shaping the narrative than one of our own biggest newspapers.
So this brings us to the next logical step in any investigation like this, a direct confrontation. After uncovering the media connections and following that massive money trail, Fischberger took all this evidence and went straight to a Qatari official.
And here's the official line he got back. This is from Qatar's deputy ambassador, Hamad Al-Mufta. He claimed complete transparency. The story was that everything they do in the U.S. is totally out in the open, by the book, following all the rules.
Right. But the journalist came prepared. He confronted the ambassador with a very different reality. See, back in 2020, the U.S. Department of Justice itself had looked into Qatar's media outlet, AJ+, and ordered it to register as a foreign agent.
So what happened? Did they follow the order? Did they register? Well, according to the source, nope. They just ignored the law. A direct order from the Department of Justice was completely disregarded.
So this is that moment, the moment of truth. You've got the official claim, we're transparent, and then you have the documented facts showing they broke the law. So what does the diplomat do when he's caught in this contradiction?
He went silent. That's it. Faced with his own words versus the facts, the report says the diplomat just clammed up and basically hid from any more questions.
Okay, so let's step back for a second. When you put all these pieces together, the media ties, the billions of dollars, the deception, a very clear pattern starts to emerge. This isn't just a few random isolated incidents. We're looking at a playbook.
And here is that playbook, broken down into 3 simple steps. Step 1, you gain power through money. Billions and billions in lobbying, investments, education. Step 2. You gain power through media. You amplify your message using your state-run news network. And step 3. You maintain that power through manipulation. You dodge the laws, and when you get exposed, you hide.
You know, the journalist who uncovered all this, Eitan Fischberger, he summed it up perfectly. He said, "That's the pattern. Doha lies in public, and when exposed, it hides." That quote, it really cuts right to the heart of the whole strategy his reporting uncovered.
So when you look at the whole picture, what this series of investigations really did was strip away that public image of Qatar as just a friendly partner. And what it revealed, behind that facade, is what the reporting alleges is one of the most sophisticated, most well-funded foreign influence networks operating in the world today.
And that really leaves us with a pretty big and kind of unsettling final question. When an influence operation is backed by billions of dollars, a huge media machine, and a clear willingness to just ignore the law, how can the truth ever really be uncovered? How can journalists, or really any of us, get to the bottom of it? It's definitely something to think about.